I breathed and I flowed with the waves on the sand. The timely crashing reminded me of the omnipotent cycles flowing all around us. Throughout my life, I've become an interpreter of the waves. The highs, the lows, it all flows. There is an energy that runs through everything in this reality. That energy is higher than I am, but also a part of me, and I am a part of it. This energy fuels the vibrations of individual molecules that convert into heat, light, movement, life, and further, all measurable existence. The vibrations create the matter that my body is from, the water in the river, and the mass of the energy we call the sun. The vibrations in every molecule and every atom are the common denomination of everything. This is energy around me, within me, and higher than me. Vibrations, I may remind you, are simply minute waves. As atoms vibrate back and forth, waves are perpetuated into the rest of existence. Light is waves, sound is waves, movement is waves. More simply, reality is waves. Another term for waves I'd like to introduce is cycles. An example of these cycles are literal waves in the ocean. As time moves forward, the water follows a moving positional cycle. Wavelengths may change and the height of the crest may increase or decrease relative to the cycle and time. But if you have ever been to the ocean, you see that these waves, they do not stop. They crash and retract, crash and retract, crash and retract, constantly flowing, constantly cycling. This is how life works, and if you can learn to interpret the repetition of cycles and waves within your life, you can position yourself within them and flow accordingly. One way humans already interpret the waves are using the sun and the moon. We rise with the sun and the day ends with nightfall, sleeping with the moon. We mark our years by the time it takes Earth to travel once around the sun, following a natural cycle, a natural wave. Beyond the material world around us, humans have cultivated waves of interaction and communication through ritual. And I know that ritual in some people's minds might invoke images of witches casting spells or a group sacrificing their member to save their tribe, but rituals occur in the lives of everyone, every day. Sociologist George Herbert Mead presents a theory called symbolic interactionism. This theory focuses on the significance of symbols used within communication and social interaction. An example of these meaningful symbols are gestures. Gestures are used within language and they hold specific meanings. Gestures allow people to navigate the social world around them upon their interpretation. For example, and I'm sticking very on theme here, when somebody I know waves their hand at me, I interpret that motion as meaningful, and in turn, I wave back. This establishes a symbolic ritual of greeting between two people. They wave, I wave back. Rituals are cycles. They are responsive patterns. Rituals create waves of behavior in response to the interpretation of the waves within the world. Our lives are filled with rituals, routines, and cycles, and they are inescapable. We do find comfort in the predictability and ease of repetitive cycles, but some cycles left prolonging can cause deterioration and damage. Ritual can infiltrate our behavior through habit and can lead us to cycles that can destroy us. Aside from cycles such as the sun and the moon, or ritual communication of a simple wave, I ask you to think deeply about the meaning of waves within your life. What dictates ritual for you? Do you respond to these patterns habitually? Can a shift in your ritual be made to create a better response to the waves within the world? Reevaluating the meaning of waves within our lives can lead us to more mindful interpretations to create the action we want to perpetuate. I personally run on waves. As someone with bipolar, I truly find myself as one of the waves. almost like a mermaid just swimming around in the sea, and I do present femininely. My experience with bipolar is none other than constant flow of energy, constant waves, and constant cycles, but unlike the timely patterned waves on the ocean shore, the cycles of my mood are more like being out at open sea. Out at sea, you can't recognize the exact movement of the water. You only see a constantly moving mass, and you really never know it's coming. Just like the sea, we are all at the hands of many internal and external forces that dictate our movement. We can't predict waves in life. Though they cycle and repeat, they do change. It's hard to tell what's coming in a sea of waves incessantly shifting, incessantly moving. This may sound hopeless, but in turn, you can tune into the perceivable waves around you, learn to interpret them, and respond to them mindfully through ritual. Personally, I have revised and renewed some cycles within my own life. Before making the decision to transfer to CSUMB, I was stuck in cycles of substance use. I used substances in reaction to many internal and external waves, and remember, rituals are responsive patterns and they do easily slip into habit. Substance use is a habitual ritual that I became comfortably miserable in. My sobriety has succeeded today because of a renewal of cycles, a shift in my ritual. My first day of sobriety, I integrated a new cycle, which was my routine of visiting Yarrow. Yarrow was a dead deer who lived at the edge of the Salinas River near my old home. And on my first day, I happened to feel up for a walk. And on this walk, I collected a beautiful bouquet of flowers, and I unaimingly ended up at Yarrow's grave. So I left the bouquet on her body. Following that, I continued to visit her every day and bring her a bouquet every single day. This became a repeating cycle, a ritual, and for me, it had meaning. I used my energy to carry, assemble, and deliver living flowers to a decaying, recycling deer. For me, it allowed me to focus my energy on newer cycles than before. Now, I didn't stop using substances because of a deer skeleton that I brought flowers to, but this is just one example of a new ritual that I integrated in my life that helped me look outward rather than inward, pushing me off course of the cycles I fell into before. Again, our lives are filled with rituals, routines, and cycles, and sometimes we get caught in waves or patterns that are damaging and dull. But dismantling these cycles are only half of the problem. We must also replace them healthily. To flow with the sea around you, it's about the response you have when the waves come, shifting your ritual in response to the waves. Interpreting the waves and learning to flow within and around them can open our eyes to true reality. We don't just live in a world of waves, we are also creators of waves. I can jump into a pool of water and watch the water ripple from my energy. I turn the pedals on my bike and cycle myself from home to class. I speak to you now, and the vibrations of my vocal cords are registered by your eardrums. I am waves. I can create waves. It truly all is in waves. Tune into the waves around you and be mindful of the waves you perpetuate. Flow with the sea around you and not against it. Thank you.